What's going on, everybody? Good evening. It is 8:10 p.m. here in Florida. And I'm going to be hanging out with you guys for about an hour. No topic of conversation tonight. Whatever you guys want to talk about. Star Wars, video games, life, any food, anything, man. This is the first stream that I've done in 10 days, which is, lately, that's kind of a long time. I've been doing a lot more streams lately. You guys know, like, months ago, I took a 3-month break just because my daughter was on summer break. Yeah, I haven't done a stream in 10 days, and it feels weird. It feels like a long time. Strange. The reason behind that is just because super busy. I worked a lot of swaps for people, so I worked multiple days in a row. I just haven't had much time to do a stream, but now getting back into a normal schedule, and I'm planning on doing more streams and more daytime streams and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, man, how are you guys? Childhood Epilepsy, Dave Bradshaw, Christian Kim, Stuart, Dylan, Fetman, Chris. What's up, Ricky? Good to see everybody. Ricky says, was wondering when you do your next stream because it's been a while. Yeah, I mean, 10 days feels like a while. I mean, that's not a long time, but it feels like a while. It feels like a while. What's up, Vince? Good to see you, man. It is a shame about the Braves, Chris, but god damn, the Phillies are just a powerhouse. They are unstoppable. We were watching the Phillies game last night at the station, and I mean, they were dominant. We got a call in like the 3rd inning, I want to say. We didn't get back to the station until like the 8th inning. And when we got back to the station, it was like 10-0. And we were like, holy shit, it's crazy. Yeah, they're just a powerhouse, man. Unstoppable. Well deserved, but of course it's heartbreaking from a Braves. But yeah. Anyway. Christian Kim got back from LA a little less than a week ago, and I'm sad since it might be a long time until I go back. What were you doing there, Christian? I've been there one time. It was for EA Play, and I had a blast. I had an absolute blast. Didn't really. I wasn't there for very long. I wish I would have maybe explored the broader city a little more. I kind of just stayed on, I don't even know, is that Hollywood Boulevard? I don't even know. Wherever our hotel was, they shuttled us to where EA Play was. And beyond that, I didn't really explore. I kind of regret that. I wish I would have taken like an Uber to some locations and stuff like that, just because I don't know when the next time I'm ever going to go there is, or if I'll ever go there again. I don't really have like a huge desire to go there for whatever reason. Like if I'm traveling, I usually like to travel to, I don't know, like mountains or national parks or cities that, like we were just in Austin, Texas. I loved it there, but for whatever reason, LA isn't all that. It's not a magnet for me. It's not a place that I like have a burning desire to go check out. I don't know why. Oh, you were there for a wedding. That'd be fun for sure. I lived in LA until a few months ago. I currently live in San Antonio. There you go. I think I knew that. I think you told me that. San Antonio. Going Rangers. Gonna go find some wood to knock on. Going Rangers. Are you... Baseball? Are we talking baseball? I'm with you, Hollow. If my Braves aren't going to go all the way, I like watching the Phillies. They're fun. I have a buddy who lives up there, a lifelong friend of mine, and he's a big Philadelphia fan. So, yeah. I'll root for them. Despite them not being... I usually root for an underdog if I have no dog in the fight. Yeah, just for my buddy, I guess I'll root for them. Oh, Rangers versus Phillies World Series. There you go. What's up, Nick? The food is second to none in Austin and Central Texas generally. Dude, have I talked about this yet? I don't think so. I haven't really done any streams since we've got back from Austin, have I? I think I've done one. Dude, we had incredible barbecue at a place called Terry Black's. And some great tacos at, I think it's kind of a chain in Texas. Not Velvet Taco. Maybe it's Velvet Taco? But holy hell, the barbecue. I got a big beef rib that was like the size, it was as long as my forearm. And as thick as my thighs. And like, it was like biting into, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. It was like biting into cotton candy meat. It was so tender. It was the best thing I think I've ever eaten in my entire life. We got brisket, we got that, we got a jalapeno sausage, we got some sides, and goddamn, it was good. It was so good. Ridiculous. But, yeah. And then it was like super late at night. We were staying out too late, of course. We went to a taco place and got a cheeseburger taco. And I know that's not the most authentic thing, but it sounded damn good. And we had to go back the next night and get one because it was insane. It was so good. But yeah. Yeah, food was great. Minato and Oscar, thank you guys so much for the first super chats and channel supports of the stream. Greatly appreciate that. Whereas Minato says Disney Plus sees its third price increase this year due to falling subs. Considering how unprofitable streaming is, do you think companies refocus on movies? Yeah, we're gonna start unsubscribing to. So we subscribe to Disney Plus, Netflix, and then we get then Hulu Live and Hulu, whatever that bundle is, and then we get like HBO Max free through our internet provider through AT&T. So really the only ones that we pay for are Disney, Netflix, and Hulu, which is kind of a lot. I don't really watch anything on any of them, to tell you the truth. I usually just cruise through YouTube, and my wife watches Hulu Live for we watch sports and stuff like that, but she likes the Food Network and the Today Show in the morning. But I kind of want to cancel Netflix. Disney Plus, the only reason we really have it is for our daughter. And, but if it were me, I wouldn't probably subscribe to anything, to tell you the truth, unless I wanted to just ping pong from show to show and just be very, precise and specific with what I want to watch that month. But yeah, I'm sick of all the increases. It's just becoming as aggravating as cable, which that looking back on it, it's kind of obvious that would go that way, right? I remember a few months ago I noticed that there were commercials on Disney Plus, and I was like, when the hell did this start? And that kind of bummed me out. And then the price increases. What gets me is prices will increase, and maybe there will be a warning, a little thing that you agree to at the beginning when you first sign in the next time it increases. But it's just one of those things where it increases really without your consent. I mean, I guess technically you're consenting if you hit the little OK button. Nobody reads it. Nobody, you know what I mean? But I feel like I've never actually seen one of those, hey, we're increasing the prices thing. Maybe they don't even exist. Maybe you have no consent. By signing up in the first place, you're consenting, to these increases. But it's kind of crazy that they can just hike the prices over and over and over and over and over again without really anybody noticing. Most people probably don't even pay attention, and before you know it, the thing that they're subscribing to is $20. And the thing is, in the grand scheme of things, let's say what is Disney Plus at right now? I don't even know. Let's say it's $20. I don't know what it is. In reality, $20 for Netflix or Hulu or whatever, in my opinion, isn't that expensive. If especially if you manage your subscriptions well and you don't just subscribe to a bunch of shit. If you're very selective month to month with what you want to watch, $20 or whatever for a streaming service to watch something as much as you want for an entire month, for the bang for your buck in terms of quantity of entertainment, $20 is nothing. I mean, you spend that on a movie ticket for 2 hours. Or you can spend it on Netflix for $20 and get a month's worth of movies and shows and stuff like that. So, like, when you look at it that way, it sucks that it's increasing. But the value, I think it's kind of a steal. Yes, I understand that anything increasing sucks, and nobody likes that. But it's kind of the same thing with, like, Xbox Game Pass, you know? Like, what is it, $20 for the month? You get access to all these damn games. You get, like, day one releases, like Starfield, right? Starfield. You could play Starfield for a month for, like, $20 if you wanted to. That's crazy. The value, the bang for your buck is there. The value for a month of entertainment, $20 is nothing. But yeah. That's how I look at it, you know. That's how I've always kind of looked at video games too. You know, $60 for a video game. I've never thought that was that much money, because like you look at something like Red Dead Redemption 2. I mean, you could sink hundreds of hours into that game. Hundreds of hours of entertainment for $60. Bang for your buck is cheap, you know. So I've always kind of looked at it through that lens, comparing it to what you can get in other places, movies or going to amusement parks and stuff like that. Granted, those are experiences, but you know, a lot of that, the digital streaming, the video game subscription and stuff like that, video games in general, I think entertainment, I think it's cheap entertainment. But yeah. Anyway, cheers, Minato. I appreciate that, man. Oscar, Ricky, Mr. Nick, and Evans, thank you guys so much for the channel support as well this evening. Oscar says, apparently Disney's looking to acquire EA. Really? Is this true? Disney EA purchase? Disney buying EA would be a disaster for everyone, according to Forbes. And then Forbes, let's see. Comicbook.com. I don't really pay attention to them because I feel like they have a lot of bullshit. The only website that I see that's recognizably legitimate. Oh, one sec.
Future along the way my family does it to prevent it all from adding up to too much, as each member pays for a different service and we share them.
Ricky, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. I should make one of those things, Rogue Squadron. What's up, guys? Oh, one sec.
Expanse. One of the best shows I've ever watched and my favorite sci-fi show along with Andor. Now on to the Expanse books, since the last 3 books continue the story past the show.
Nice, Nick. I appreciate that, man. Give me one sec. So Forbes, Oscar, this comes from Bloomberg report where Disney execs are allegedly pushing Bob Iger to get back into game publishing by buying EA. Iger said to be non-committal about the idea. These plans apparently have already been discussed last year, though EA supposedly also spoke with NBC, Universal, Apple, and Amazon, and nothing has come of it yet. There was indeed a brief, erroneous report that Amazon had bought EA a while back, which turned out to be false. So it looks like this is a lot of YouTubers are reporting on it, of course, because that's what YouTubers do. But it looks like, according to Forbes, I mean, maybe this is true. It sounds like there was talks, but what do talks mean, right? Did somebody say, you know what we should do? We should think about buying a video game publisher. Somebody said, yeah, like EA. And then it turns into a big story. You know, was it as simple as that, or was it actual, like, drawn up plans and whatnot? Because apparently EA has talked to NBC, Apple, and Amazon. So, and also Disney, I guess. So, like, are these just conversations that they've had willy-nilly? Like, you know, nothing really concrete or all too serious, but just, you know, shitting out and throwing out ideas like we all do, right? But when we shit out and throw out ideas, it doesn't become a big story on Forbes. So, yeah, who knows, man? I don't know what that would mean. I don't know. I don't know why they would. I mean, why? I don't know. Why wrap yourself up in that stuff? Why, like? I mean, I'm sure there's already talk of, like, busting them up, right? Kind of like talks of busting up Amazon. And this would only further those conversations. But I don't know, man. I don't know what that would entail, what the positives and negatives would be. But as of right now, like, it just kind of seems like one of those stories that is circulating online. Again, Oscar, this is the first time I've heard of this. I just did a quick Google. And when I see, like, mostly all of the results of typing in Disney buying EA, like, almost all the results are, like, just YouTubers, I tend to kind of think it's bullshit. If, like, the majority of people reporting on something are just YouTubers and comicbook.com, which has a track record of being quite shitty, then I tend to just kind of think there's not much validity in it. I mean, maybe there is, but yeah, who knows? Who knows? Either way, I have no control over it. I don't know if it would be a bad thing or good thing. Who knows, right? But I appreciate that, man. Hope you're doing well. Ricky, Nick, and Evans, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ricky says, here's that $20 for the potential future, LOL. The way my family does it to prevent it all from adding up too much is each member pays for a different service and we share them. Yeah, that's smart. That's kind of what we do with my parents. You know, we pay for the streaming service and we give it to my parents. So, like, you know, when my daughter stays with my parents quite a bit, you know, when me and my wife both have to work. So, that, you know, so they don't have to pay for Disney, which they're never going to watch, you know, so we just give them our login. But yeah, that's definitely a solution. We've never had any issues. I know people say that they're, like, cracking down, or it's said that these companies are cracking down on password sharing and all that kind of stuff. We've never ran into any issues. Granted, we don't really have we haven't given our password out to anybody else. I mean, so maybe if we were sharing it with, like, 10 different people in 10 different households, then maybe we would get flagged, but yeah, I haven't ran into any issues. But that is definitely a solution there, Ricky. Well, for whatever reason, this makes me think of, like, whenever have you ever stayed in, like, an Airbnb? Of course you have, Ricky, like an Airbnb or something like that, and you fire up their TV and somebody is logged into Disney or Amazon or something like that. And it's, for whatever reason, it's always so fascinating to me to, like, look at some random person's previously watched history that just happened to stay in this Airbnb a week before you did, just to see what they're into, you know? I don't know why. It's like peering into somebody's interests. I don't know. It's interesting to me. You go to like an Airbnb and you fire up the YouTube app on the TV and you can see what people were searching for. I don't know why I find that interesting. There have been times when I'm staying with my buddies in an Airbnb. Somebody is logged into Amazon and we buy a stupid, cheap, dumbass movie. I don't know, like Big Mama's House, something like that. And we purchase it for like $3. And we giggle at the idea of John from Nebraska getting a notification on his phone that he has purchased Medea. I don't know why. It's silly. They bought Battlefield Earth for $4 on Amazon. I didn't buy Battlefield Earth. Why is this in my purchase history? I won't lie that I have not done that. I won't lie that my buddies have not done that though. I have a moral compass. But I have not sat there and protested it. I will say that. But, yeah. Anyway, I appreciate that, Ricky. Darth, Nick, Evans, and Vince, thank you guys so much. Darth Nicholas says, just finished The Expanse, one of the best shows I've ever watched and my favorite sci-fi show along with Andor. Now on to The Expanse books, since the last 3 books continue the story past the show. Oh, I didn't realize that. Well, first of all, thank you so much for that channel support, man. So, I have seen the first season of The Expanse. I loved it. I watched it when I watched the first season, and then I don't think the second season had come out yet. And it's one of those things where, like, I never went back to it. I loved the first season. I thought it was such a well-established world that they built with the Belters and all that stuff. And I've heard that the show has only gotten better since the first season. So that is really high up on my watch list. I'd love to go back and I honestly would probably have to rewatch the first season to kind of remember what happened and all that. But because that was a long time ago now. When did the first season come out? Let me look this up. It was like the late. No, it's not that old. Was it like 2015? The Expanse season 1. 2015. Yeah, 2015. Okay. So wow. Okay. That's almost 10 years ago, guys. That's wild. But I agree. Yeah, the world building and especially the Belter culture were highlights. I agree. And again, I've only watched the first season, but I thought it was great, and I'm sure it's only gotten better. But yeah, so that is. I'll probably start watching that soon at the station. Like what I've been doing a lot lately is bringing my laptop to my bunk and putting in headphones and just watching something. And usually it's just like some random bullshit that I want to watch for 30 minutes and doze off. Like the other day, I watched the first episode of Spin City. You remember Spin City? Anybody remember Spin City with Michael J. Fox? Last night, I actually watched the first episode of Rescue Me, which I've watched almost all of that. I didn't watch the last season, but that's a great show. It's like the only show that I think is actually depicting the fire department relatively accurately that I've seen, at least. You know, so many of these stupid shows dramatize so much and it's just dumb, but that show is really good. So yeah, The Expanse is going to be one of those shows, Nick, that I'm going to lay in my bunk, put some headphones in, and and try to watch the rest of it. Oh, I didn't realize that. Nick says the authors of the Expanse books have also written a Star Wars book, Honor Among Thieves, one of the last Legends books, which I'm told contains dialect similar to the Belter dialect. Oh, interesting. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Huh. Alright. Yeah. Alright. But yeah, Nick, I'm going to start watching The Expanse Season 2 soon. And we'll have something new to talk about, buddy. I say that I need to watch the first season again, but I'm sure there's a recap or something. And it would all come flooding back, you know. But anyway, I appreciate that, man. Cheers. Evans Media. Thank you so much. Evan says, can't wait for tomorrow. Killers of the Flower Moon comes out. And then that night at midnight, the 20th, Spider-Man 2 comes out after a long 5 years. I work with a guy who's a huge Spider-Man fan. And he was talking to me about it the other day. And he's so excited. I think he's taking the day off for the release. Which, hell yeah. But, yeah, I'm excited to see Killers of the Flower Moon 2. That's probably going to be one that we're going to have to, wait, hold on. That's only going to be released in theaters, correct? That's not going to be streaming right away, right? Okay, yeah, so movie theater. Yeah, so yeah, it's not streaming. I'm definitely excited for it. I can't wait to watch it. Leonardo DiCaprio is one of my favorite actors. That's the reason that honestly the reason that I'm excited to see it. Like Martin Scorsese, I like his stuff, but it's like I don't really go out of my way or go crazy for everything that comes out of his. So really for me the big selling point is Leonardo DiCaprio in it. But yeah, we're not going to be able to go see it in the movie theater though. Like that's just too difficult with our schedules and, you know, with a kid and parents babysitting and all that. It's kind of difficult to find the time to go to the movie theaters these days. But whenever it does come out for streaming, 1,000% we're gonna go see it, or we're going to watch it rather, 1,000%. But yeah, looking forward to it, man. I don't know what was his last movie. Martin, not Leonardo DiCaprio, Martin Scorsese. Let's see. Let's see here. He produces a lot. Let's see. His directing credits. What has he... Well, there was one that came out recently, and it was on Netflix, right? Upcoming... He's doing a Gangs of New York TV series? Huh. The Irishman. Yeah, I haven't watched that yet. Didn't watch that. Man. I didn't realize he does this much TV. He's directed a lot of TV and video and shorts and stuff like that. I didn't realize that. Interesting. Yeah, that's one thing, Nick, that kind of makes me steer clear of that. He said the Irishman is 3.5 hours long. Like, that's kind of a deal breaker for me these days. Like, when I see something's 3.5 hours long, that instantly makes me want to skip over it. I don't know why. The perfect time, to me, the perfect like amount of time for a movie is a sweet, short and sweet hour and a half. Just give me a short and sweet hour and a half. But yeah, anyway, Evans, I appreciate that, man. Vince and Minato, thank you guys so much. Vince says, plot versus character. And he also says, I remember when Indy 5 came out, and I went, and I didn't go see Indiana Jones 5. Isn't that a shame? Heart of coal right here. There it is. I didn't go see it either. It's not because I didn't want to. We chose to go see Oppenheimer with our free time. But I honestly, Vince, like, I kind of forgot about it. Like, after I watched it. It's one of those things where I watched it, thought about it for a day, and I haven't really thought about it since. Like, it didn't have the same staying power with me as I was hoping. What's really interesting, Vince, maybe you'll find this interesting too. I work with a guy, he's a year younger than me, he's 36. He never watched the Indiana Jones movies growing up. He's a big Star Wars fan. Watched those growing up and all that stuff. But he never watched an Indiana Jones movie when he was a kid. In fact, the first time that he watched an Indiana Jones movie was a couple months ago. He watched Raiders and he watched Temple of Doom. And he said he didn't like either of them. He didn't like either of them. Now, I found that really interesting. Because those are among some of my favorite movies. And is that because I was a kid when I watched them? He's basically my age now. And he's watching these movies for the first time. If I was to watch these movies for the first time, would I kind of be in the same boat as him? I don't know. But I thought that was really interesting. But, yeah, I don't know. It's like, I liked it when I watched it. I liked bits and pieces, but it didn't have the same impact on me. It didn't really... I barely remember it, to tell you the truth. I liked the ending. I liked how, you know, the payoff of him and going back in time. I thought that was interesting. I liked that. There's a lot about the movie that I do like, but again, it was kind of forgettable for me. Yeah. Red Letter Media Half in the Bag got recommended to me on YouTube, and it was the first I've thought about it for a while. Gotcha. I don't think I've watched that one. Now that I watched the movie, I should probably watch that. I watch all of their stuff, but if I haven't seen a movie, I don't watch their, Half in the Bag or whatever. So yeah, I need to watch that. Now I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that. Maybe I'll watch that tonight. Actually, Vince, you know what I'm watching tonight? I don't have to work tomorrow, and I didn't have to work today, so I got off shift at 8 this morning. So tonight I'm staying up late, and I'm going to watch a movie. I'm going to watch the original RoboCop. I haven't seen that shit since I was a kid. And I went and got a couple drinks with a buddy a couple weeks ago. And me and him see eye to eye on movies a lot. We talk about movies a lot. And he was like, you know what I watched recently? I watched RoboCop, and it's awesome. And I was like, holy shit, I need to watch that again. I probably haven't seen that in easily 20 years. I was, to tell you the truth, I was probably like 13 years old the last time I saw that movie. So that's what I'm planning to watch tonight. I'm excited for it. But yeah. Yeah. There's like little tiny bits and pieces I remember of the movie. But as a whole, I barely remember any of it. It's been that long. So, The game does look pretty good. I watched a trailer for it last. Somebody mentioned it a couple streams ago. So. Oh yeah, I think it was Ricky. No, I haven't, Ricky. I need to install it. But I have a feeling it's not going to work on my computer. We'll see. I'll watch the movie and then get pumped up to play the game. And I'll install the demo and it'll say, your computer can't handle this shit. And I'll be like, oh. We'll see. Yeah, I appreciate that, Vince. Cheers, man. Monado and Andrew Smith, thank you guys so much for the channel supports as well. Monado says, when the PS5 Pro comes out, can I donate my old PS5 to you so that you can stream more games and not be limited by being a PC gamer? Dude, we'll talk, but like my heart of heart doesn't want to accept that. That is like gold in your pocket, man. I would honestly like rather you sell it and get a little bit of cash. We'll talk though. We'll talk though. Maybe. I don't know. I would feel, honestly, I would feel bad. I would rather you sell it to a kid or something like that. Because honestly, I don't really have much time to play games. And I don't really stream video games that often. I would rather you sell it to a kid or like give it to a kid that needs it, you know, than my dumbass who is just a generation behind when it comes to video game consoles and PC. Oh,
I just turned 29 and I'm lamenting over wasted youth. How young, still, is 29? Or is youth as much of a mindset and attitude as it is biological factor?
Interesting question and conversation here, Rocket King. Give me one sec, man. Yeah, maybe I'll get a P.O. box one day. And a PS5 would show up. But, Monado, we'll talk, man. I really appreciate the sentiment. But I don't know if I would do much streaming and stuff like that, to tell you the truth on it. I wouldn't want you to be bummed out if I didn't play. Well, you mentioned Spider-Man, God of War, and all that stuff. I wouldn't want you to be bummed out if I didn't play it as much as you would hope. You know what I mean? PS2. Oh, that's a good idea. How much is a used PlayStation 2? Let's see. eBay. Can you play Bounty Hunter on the PlayStation 5? PlayStation 2. Oh, wow. Wow, these are going for very expensive. That's kind of surprising to me. Maybe I need to look on Facebook Marketplace, but... Hold on. Oh, read. Whenever it says read, that means it doesn't work, right? Huh. Well, GameCubes, let's see. GameCubes can play it too, right? Maybe I can get a GameCube. Oh, it is? Bounty Hunter on PS5 via digital download. Interesting. So how does that work, guys? Like, if I was to stream on the PlayStation and I have a PlayStation account or whatever, would you be able to see my username when I stream? Like if I was to stream on my Xbox, it would show my Xbox username, right? My Xbox is just really for just personal gaming. I don't do anything on there with the channel or anything. That's just for me and my buddies and whatnot. Is there a way around that if that were the case? I don't want you to stream Bounty Hunter. I want you to play it in the dark on a CRT and listen to the music, menu music for an hour like I did. Oh, the memories. The memories. Let's see. How much is that? How much is an old... I bet people are giving those things away. CRT TV. What? $170 for an RCA CRT TV. A 14-inch. $170? $200 for an RCA... Oh, they call them retro gaming TVs. Oh, fuck off. $180 for a CRT TV VCR combo. Oh my god, they're so expensive. What the fuck? A 27-inch CRT TV that looks like something that I had in the mid-90s or early 90s for $700? Fuck right off. $180? $299? $150? This is hilarious to me. What the hell? $300 for a vintage Toshiba 14-inch CRT TV. Retro gaming. They're all labeled like retro gaming. Is this something that people are into? Are like, I mean, is this how it like? So for my generation, you know, we buy records and record players and vinyl records and stuff like that. That's my parents' generation's tech. But we buy that, right? My generation buys our parents' generation's music technology. Is this like kids nowadays buying their parents' generation's technology? Like, is some kid out there actually paying $300 for a 14-inch piece of shit CRT TV because it says retro gaming in the description? Please don't do that. Go to Goodwill. Please don't buy this stupid shit. Wow, a JVC CRT TV with labeled retro gaming for $200. This is blowing my mind right now. This is so stupid. $199 for a 27-inch Panasonic CRT TV. Great for retro gaming, it says. Holy shit. Oh, a Toshiba 13-inch TV VCR VHS player combo. Great for retro gaming for $200. $350 for a JVC 20-inch CRT TV retro gaming television. What the fuck? Wow. I might make a video about this because this is kind of blowing my mind. I figured they'd go for like $20. Wild. Okay. All right. Where was I? Anyway. Holy moly. Like, you could buy a really nice, like, 65-inch 4K TV, smart TV, for as much as some of these are going for. That's crazy. That is insane to me. I'm going to look up on Facebook Marketplace. Let's see. Let's see. CRT TV. I'm sure they're going for a lot less on Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, they are. Okay. $25 Symphonic Retro Gaming TV. $25. $50. $50. $25. $35. $100. $200. Jeez. Okay. So they're definitely way cheaper. $10. There you go. Free. There you go. Okay. Yeah, if you're looking for something like that, go on Facebook Marketplace. I'm sure there's a lot of grandparents who have passed away, and their kids are wanting to get rid of this shit, and they're selling it for like $10 on Facebook Marketplace. You don't have to go on eBay and pay $300 for a CRT TV, just because it's labeled retro gaming. Wow. Okay. Anyway, enough of that shit. Andrew Smith, Mr. Nick, and the Rocket King and Oscar, thank you guys so much for the channel support. Andrew Smith said, I'm guessing you didn't watch the 4-hour Justice League. I've seen it about 10 times so far. No, I haven't. I haven't even seen the one that came out in the theater. Yeah, I'm not really into that stuff. Like, superhero movies. It has to be very specific to my interests, I guess. Like, I like Superman, and I know Superman is in the Justice League movies, but I don't know, man. Like, when I think of Superman, I just think of like a do-gooder, a good guy, a Boy Scout, an attaboy. And most of the modern Superman, now I'm sure there's great comics out there, but like most of the newer Superman movies and his stuff, it's not for me. I grew up with Christopher Reeve and that saving a cat from a tree is my Superman. Just that attaboy good guy. And so a lot of the newer DC stuff just isn't all that. It's not what I'm into. So, I'm sure people love it. I heard the director's cut or the Zack Snyder cut or whatever. I heard people loved it. But I mean, maybe one day I'll watch it, but yeah, we'll see. 4 hours is too goddamn long. 4 hours for a movie. I'm sure back in the day I would have eaten that stuff up. 4 hours for a movie? Hell yeah. These days, like, again, my perfect movie time is like an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. The idea of sitting down for something that's 2 hours longer than... No, 2.5 hours longer than that. I mean, that's like 3 movies in one movie. That's just crazy to me. But, anyway, Andrew, I appreciate that, man. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. I have not watched Superman and Lois yet. How is that doing? Superman and Lois. Is it worth checking out? After years of facing supervillains, monsters, and alien invaders, the world's most famous superhero, the Man of Steel, aka Clark Kent in comic books, famed journalist Lois Lane come face to face with one of the greatest challenges ever, dealing with being working parents in today's society, complicating the already daunting job of raising 2 boys. Clark and Lois worry about whether their sons, Jonathan and Jordan, could inherit their father's Kryptonian superpowers as they grow older. Returning to Smallville to handle some Kent family business, Clark and Lois are reacquainted with Lana Lang and her fire chief husband, Kyle Cushing. That actually sounds interesting to me. I really like this concept. What's it on? Okay, a Max subscription. Huh. Alright. Yeah, The Expanse and this. Though it may be a bit too grounded for some viewers, Superman and Lois draw strength from unexpected places without skimping on the action to carve its own path in crowded superhero universe. Alright. I did not know that was the story behind this, but that sounds really interesting to me. Not everything needs to be boom, boom, the sky is falling, and I'm sure there's a lot of that, but this sounds like an interesting Superman story. I like that. All right, so The Expanse and Superman and Lois. All right. Shit, man, I'm kind of excited to watch this. Anyway, who brought this up? Oh, Fett. What's up, Fett, man? Nice. I appreciate you bringing this to my attention. I knew that this existed. I did not know. I feel like it just came out. I did not know there were already 3 seasons of it. Wow. Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited to watch this, dude. Yeah, alright. So I work on Friday. Let's see. I work on Friday, and in between calls, maybe I'll watch an episode or 2. I have to do some studying for future promotional stuff, so I don't want to... Yeah, nice. Nice. Anyway, I appreciate that. Mr. Nick, Rocket King, and Oscar, thank you guys so much. Nick says, have you ever watched Battlestar Galactica and Farscape? If so, what are your thoughts on them? I never have. I have always wanted to watch Battlestar Galactica, but I never have. I have had it recommended to me so many times by a couple of my buddies. But, yeah, it's one of those things that I've always wanted to check out, but I just never, for whatever reason, I never have. Like, the only time, I mean, this is a modern excuse, but back in the day, like, my wife doesn't have any interest in watching it. And we usually, watch things that we both want to watch. So there's a lot of things that I haven't watched, or, like, it's funny. She watched all of The Witcher. She never played any of the games. She didn't know shit about that universe. And I don't know shit about it either. And she was like, do you want to watch The Witcher with me? And I was like, no, I just don't have any interest in it. I heard it's great. She loves it. But I was like, no. So, like, when I'm at work, she'll watch The Witcher. I think she's all done with the series so far. But, so we kind of have our own shows when I'm at work. So maybe, The Expanse, Battlestar Galactica, and Superman and Lois. Maybe I'll have my own shows if I have the time at work to watch them. No, I haven't really. When it comes to sci-fi shows, Nick, there's a lot that I've missed out on. I watched a little bit of Stargate back in the day, like way back in the day when I was a kid. What year did that come out? Stargate show. What, do you ever do that? Add a letter to something? I typed Stargator. Stargate. The show. Wait, the movie came out before the show? Is that right? Is that right? Hold on. The movie came out before the show. That's kind of blowing my mind right now. I remember going to see the movie. I was super young. I remember watching the show. I had no idea that the movie came out before the show. Wow. Huh. I never would, in a million years, would have guessed that was the case. I always thought the show came out before. Maybe I didn't see the movie in the theater. I feel like I did. But maybe I didn't. Because I probably watched the show before the movie, so I'm guessing I didn't. Oh, man, my memory's all fucked. If that's the case. Wow. Anyway, yeah. Nick, there's a lot of sci-fi shows that I haven't watched, like Battlestar Galactica or Farscape or... like really the only ones that I've really watched is Star Trek: The Next Generation, the original series, Firefly, the first season of The Expanse. Like sci-fi shows are things that I've always watched sci-fi movies, but for whatever reason I haven't watched a lot of sci-fi shows. Memento moment for sure, Oscar. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I would have put all my money on the fact that the Stargate movie came out after the show or during the show's run. That's kind of blowing my mind right now. Anyway, what does that have on Rotten Tomatoes? Let's see. Stargate movie. 53. I don't really remember too much about it. James Spader recommended, but corny characters in a clunky script makes a portal to... I like it. It says, corny characterization and a clunky script makes this a portal to ho-hum. That's a good... little critic blurb. Anyway, Farscape, which I haven't seen either, used animatronics, makeup, and prosthetics from Jim Henson Company for its aliens. Oh, interesting. All right. Yeah, I don't know anything about that world, Farscape. But the Rocket King and Oscar, I appreciate it, guys. Coming in with the final super chats before I jet. Rocket King says, Master Greedo, I ask for advice. I just turned 29 and I'm lamenting over wasted youth. Don't. How young still is 29? Or is youth as much of a mindset and attitude as it is biological factor? Yes. Dude, yes. I'm 37. So, but I feel younger now than I did back in the day. I feel healthier. I'm in better shape. Physically and mentally, I'm in a better place now than I was when I was 29. I didn't take care of myself at all when I was 29. At fucking all. So you're young. You're young. I know you don't feel that way, but to me, for somebody like me, I'm almost 10 years your senior. You're young. I work with guys that are 29. Most of my officers are like that old. And I look at them not as young, but I don't know. 29, like my 30s so far, I feel like have been the best, most fulfilling years. My 20s were a blur. It was basically me and my wife. It was awesome. We got our first house. We got married in our 20s. Traveled a lot. Went to a bunch of breweries. Did a bunch of cool shit. That's the time to do it, right? I think you were prepping for The Force Awakens when you were 29. Oh, yeah, 2015, so... Do the math. I'm 37 now. How old was I in 2015? I'm a big dummy. It takes me a while to figure out simple math. It's a mindset. It's an attitude, Rocket. Like, I don't believe in, as you say, lamenting over wasted youth. What is youth? Youth is there to waste. Everybody wastes time unless you're some hyper go-getter, small percentage of the population who just busts their ass at the age of 18 or 19 and figures out exactly what they want to do and does the rat race and whatever. But to me, that's wasted. I think youth is there and it's not wasted. If you feel like it's wasted, it's not wasted. It's all learning experience. You get to experience things. You do stupid shit. You make mistakes. And if you think it's wasted, then just thinking that is worthwhile in itself, because now you have like a benchmark. Now you have an idea of maybe what you don't want to do or the path you don't want to go down. It was a learning experience, right? So, but I do think it's an attitude, it's a mindset. We all know old curmudgeons who are so stuck in their ways and mad about everything and all that stupid shit. And you feel bad for them, right? And then, you know, guys, older people who are just happy-go-lucky, fun-loving, and free, you know. And they're experiencing like a new renaissance of youth in their older age. So it is a mindset. It's an attitude. Biology be damned. I mean, yeah, you'll get wrinkles. Yeah, you'll I don't know. Your back will start hurting a little bit, but I feel younger and again than I ever have. I feel better than I ever have. So, yeah. Youth is there to waste. But it's not a waste. It's a learning experience, and it's there to have fun with. But yeah, anyway, I hope I wasn't too much rambling there, Rocket King. Probably was, but I appreciate the hell out of that super chat, channel sport, and little interesting dive we went down there. But I appreciate that, man. Cheers. 29's young. 29's young. Don't worry about it. You use that and you kick some ass in your 30s, whatever that means. But I appreciate that, man. If you're still here, I'm long-winded, Rocket King. You sent that super chat 26 minutes ago. I make it a point to get to every single super chat. So, sometimes somebody sends something 26 minutes ago and I get to it in 26 minutes and I feel bad, but yeah, I'm long-winded, but I appreciate that, man. Oscar Rodriguez and Minato, thank you guys so much for the super chats as well. Final super chats before I hop off. Oscar says, how different would Star Wars be if Fox had sequel rights? Interesting. Ooh, I don't know. I don't know. Would sequels have even happened? What would they have done? See, Disney has, like, I can't see Fox. Hold on, let me see. What? So, Fox. I can't see them establishing like a big, broad Star Wars world. I don't know if they would have sunk so much time and effort into building, maybe what we know as canon. I don't know. Maybe it would have been just a set of smaller genre films, kind of like the original trilogy was, without as much thought to the streamlining of like overall canon or whatever you want to call it, non-film material even. And maybe it would have been a little more unique, a little more... God, who knows, man? This is such a fun hypothetical. I don't know. But then again, Disney owns 21st Century Fox, 2020, yeah, so. I like to think Fox would have put out 3 movies, then said goodnight. That's a good way. That's you, Vince. You just nicely and briefly said exactly what I was trying to say in one sentence, and that is way better than what I said in my multiple sentenced ramblings. But yeah, I like to think Fox would have put out 3 movies, then said goodnight. I like to think that too. But who knows? Who knows? It's interesting. I can't remember who tweeted about it the other day. I saw somebody tweet like, I look at Star Wars as a set of 3 genre films made in the late 70s and early 80s. And in my heart of heart, that's how I see it too. Like, to me, when I think of Star Wars, I mean, yeah, other things come up, but primarily it's just the original trilogy. And it's like this little quaint, and it wasn't quaint, and it wasn't little, it was this monumental, enormous world, box office smash hit. But it like, for me, that's what I think of, and it does feel much more quaint. It just feels homier. I don't know. And when I think of Star Wars, that's what I think of. I think of those 3 little genre films that before everything exploded into what it is today, or what it was in the late 90s, early 2000s, when it was just smaller. When it was just 3 movies and some non-film material, But I don't know. Yeah, that would be a fun topic of conversation for a morning coffee video. I don't really know how I would talk about it, but I would hash something out. But anyway, I appreciate that, Oscar. And Minato coming in with the final super chat and channel support of the stream. Minato says, you have been a male role model for an entire generation. Kids watching you are now adults. Do you ever think about your chat as your kids? It's funny that you say this, but in a way, yes. I have seen some of you guys for, almost a decade. Like, Brandon, Phantasmic, I feel like, dude, the guy's married now. Like, I feel like I've been talking to some of you guys for so long. And I get questions like from Rocket King, he just turned 29. I get questions like that all the time. People asking about life. And who the fuck am I, right? I'm just some dude on the internet. I got a career. I sometimes make YouTube videos. I've done some fun shit, stupid shit. I have a family. But in the grand scheme of things, who the fuck am I? I'm just some guy on the internet, But, like, that occasionally talks about Star Wars. But, it's very neat and humbling, and to have people stick around so long and like ask me for advice. People have like asked me for military advice, getting in, getting out, what to do when they're in, how to deal with shit. People have asked me for all sorts, and again, I always say, I'm just some fucking guy. Don't listen to me. But here's my thoughts. So I do, Minato, sometimes think of it that way. Just because, people have been around for so long, and I feel like, I don't know. it's kind of neat. There's a relationship there, and I don't know how other YouTubers and streamers do it, but I don't know. I take these conversations serious and fun, and we're all over the place. I make sure to talk to everybody, and I don't know. I get as much out of this as you guys do, if you get anything at all. But trust me, this is almost like a little therapeutic sit-down session for me every time I do these streams, because yeah, just get to shoot the shit. It's fun. Talk about serious stuff, talk about silly stuff, make some jokes. I always look forward to these things. Anyway, Minato, I appreciate that, man. Cheers. It's fun to think about. Oscar, thank you so much for coming in with the final super chat and channel support of this stream. One sec. Oscar says, I suspect Fox would have treated Star Wars like Alien or X-Men, make sequel after sequel with no continuity, quote unquote canon schmanon, no broader universe building. Yeah, maybe. That's kind of like, that's just like Vince said, probably would have just made some movies and not, put so much effort into building this extensive checklist or encyclopedia. And in a way, I kind of like that more, I'm not one to like get all bent out of shape or like get into the nitty gritty of all of these connections and the deep canon and all that stuff. For me, again, that's just me in my generation of, being born in the 80s and watching Star Wars on VHS as these small, quaint CRT TV movies that we used to pop in the TV VCR combo, I look at Star Wars maybe a little differently than a lot of people that dive into everything, And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with diving into everything. Nothing wrong with nitpicking everything and focusing on canon maybe more than, I don't know, story, which a lot of people seem to do. I'm the complete opposite. But yeah, you're probably right, Oscar. And I don't know if that really would have been a good thing. There's a lot of stupid alien. Really only the two Alien movies that I like are Alien and Aliens. I would like to watch the third one soon. I have the anthology. I remember watching the third one. That's the prison one, right? But I don't really remember anything about it. But most of the Prometheus and the Alien vs Predator and all that, shit does nothing for me. X-Men movies, I think I saw them all, but most of them, meh. For me at least, So who knows what would have happened? Who knows? Alien and Alien's great, dude. What's up, Doom? Yeah, I love those two movies. Dude, I used to watch Aliens all the time as a kid. Holy hell, just a great sequel. Talk about doing a sequel, making a sequel very unique and different than its predecessor, right? Man, they are such different movies, but they complement one another so well. But yeah, anyway, Oscar, I appreciate that, man. Cheers. All right, guys, I got a jet. It is 9:25. We went 20 minutes longer than I was thinking. Maybe if I wouldn't have ranted and raved about how expensive CRT TVs are on eBay, I would have cut down on 20 minutes. But anyway, guys, I got a jet. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Fun conversations all over the place as usual. These are always great. The next time that I stream will probably be, let's see, work Friday, Saturday, probably Sunday night, the 22nd, Sunday night. Maybe like 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time, Sunday night. So I'll be around probably. But all right, guys, thank you so much to everyone who sent over a little channel support this evening. Channel survives because of you. To everybody else in the chat, thank you for hanging out. But all right, everybody, have a fantastic morning, afternoon, or evening wherever you are on planet Earth. And I will catch you all on the flip side. See ya.